Some called him the light of Asia, others the apostle of peace. Known as Buddha, the enlightened one, spreading compassion and harmony. This is where Lord Buddha was born. Nepal, a tiny Himalayan kingdom in the heart of Asia, continues to be an enigma. Lumbini, in the tranquil southwestern plains of Nepal, nestling on the foothills of the Himalayas and the Churiya range. Lumbini, the holiest of sites for followers of Buddhism throughout the world, the birthplace of the holiest of sentient beings. The forest and wetland habitat harbors hundreds of bird species, a crane sanctuary and a wetland garden. Diverse social and religious communities living in harmony for generations inhabit its surrounding areas. The home of wild animals, including blue bulls since ancient times. Now there are over 50 blue bulls roaming in the Lumbini area. These pairs of cranes, native birds of the area, bring to life the mental portraits of Buddha's childhood amidst these serene surroundings. In Khudabagar village, for instance, has stood the test of time and remained the home for generations of those monkeys extended from the same family. Successive archaeological excavations have unearthed several monuments and sites which have provided valuable insights into the birth and life of Lord Buddha. Today, it is a World Heritage Site and pilgrimage for Buddhists. Around 563 BC, the world was to be blessed with the birth of the Buddha in the sacred garden of Lumbini. Queen Mayadevi was passing through a beautiful grove on the way to her maternal home. The queen bathed in a nearby pond, holding the branch of a tree, gave birth to Siddhartha Gautama, who later became Buddha or the Enlightened One. Emperor Ashoka strengthened the shrine of the nativity spot, marking the exact location of birth of Buddha on his pilgrimage to the sacred birthplace. The Ashokan pillar is engraved with the inscription identifying the exact location of Lumbini. It emphasizes three main points very important in Buddhism. They are: where was the Buddha born? In Lumbini village. Who was the Buddha? A human being, Shakyamuni, as well as divine being, Bhagavan. Where is Lumbini? Here, in the spot where the pillar stands. On one side of the Ashokan pillar is the Mayadevi temple. Devotees since time immemorial have worshipped the Mayadevi shrine containing the sculpture with the nativity scene of Lord Buddha. The bas-relief depicts Queen Mayadevi holding the branch of a tree with the newly born infant Buddha standing upright on a lotus pedestal against an oval halo, and next to her standing Gautami Prajapati providing support to Queen Mayadevi. Recent excavations have exposed a conglomeratic stone pointing at the exact place of birth. Today, the holy site of Lumbini is being developed with internal resources and international support. The Nepalese government is directly involved in the development of Lumbini. The master plan prepared by Khenju Tangye comprises three main elements: the new Lumbini village that provides accommodation for the pilgrims, the monastic enclave with sufficient resource materials to provide information to visitors, and the sacred garden, the seat of spiritual activity that provides peace, tranquility and solace. Buddham Many countries have built monasteries and stupas in the international monastic zone. All these monasteries represent the architecture of their own countries and blend in the harmony of the garden of Lumbini. Indeed, the international monastic zone offers a visual feast to the visitor. The quiet prayer rooms, meditation cells and images of the Buddha, the gleaming structure, pagodas and stupas soaring into the sky create an aura of serenity. The Lumbini Museum, located in the cultural zone, contains religious manuscripts and terracotta fragments among other antiquities. The Lumbini International Research Institute provides research facilities for the study on Buddhism. Vipassana meditation is one of the most ancient techniques of meditation. Vipassana, which means to see things as they are, is a remedy for all ills. It was rediscovered and practiced by Lord Buddha over 2500 years ago. The objective of Vipassana is the essential and total healing of human suffering. Evidence of the practice of Vipassana in Myanmar shows that Lord Buddha practiced and endorsed this method as a means of mitigating human suffering. Surrounding villages depict the Nepalese way of life with diverse cultures, colorful social events and traditional farming practices. Taking a tour of the villages around Lumbini could be a memorable experience. There are several ways of doing so. Taking a walk around the narrow village paths, riding a bicycle through its meandering alleys, or taking a rickshaw and tingling past the rural landscape. Absorbing the sights, sounds and scents of the village life and being part of the Tarai culture even for a moment would be a memory for a lifetime. The village folk do not just sit idle. They are creative people who make different handicraft items reflecting life in the villages of Nepal. Such handicrafts are much sought after, and most people carry back these items for their loved ones back home and to remind you of the visit to Lumbini. No wonder every visit, every money spent here contributes to the lives of the local people. A visionary that Buddha was, he knew he was approaching the sunset of his mortal life. The Buddha told his disciples that he would leave for the heavenly abode in 3 months' time. Anand, one of his trusted disciples, suggested big cities like Magadh and Banaras as the place for Buddha to leave his mortal remains. However, Kushinagar was the Buddha's personal choice. Indeed, Kushinagar would be the place for Mahaparinirvana or salvation. The disciples were confused as there would be a void in the absence of guidance and direction from the Enlightened One. But Buddha comforted them by advising them to visit 4 places: Lumbini, Bodh Gaya, Saranath and Kushinagar. Spreading the words of the Buddha through these visits would lead to a life of fulfillment. Therefore, a visit to Lumbini is the dream of every Buddhist. The highlight of the visit to Lumbini is the Lumbini Buddhist Circuit Tour, which provides valuable glimpses not only into the early childhood of Siddhartha Gautama, but also as a site of pre-Buddhas like Krakuchanda and Kanakmuni, and the evolution of Buddhism. Although there are over 60 archaeological sites in and around Lumbini, 8 of them are worth a visit. The Lumbini Buddhist circuit encompasses Kudan, Gotihava, Tilaurakot, Niglihava, Aurorakot, Sagarhava, Devadaha and Ramagrama. All these places are associated with the life of Gautama Buddha and bear special significance. Kudan is the place where King Suddhodana received the Buddha after he attained enlightenment. A huge mound of structural ruins can be seen here even today. Gotihava is believed to be the place where Krakuchanda, the mortal Buddha before Sakyamuni, was born and attained nirvana. The antiquity of the site goes back to 10th or the 9th century BC. The Ellora Court, where the Siddhartha lived until the age of 29, is situated 30 kilometers west of Lumbini. Archaeologists have unearthed elaborate gateways on the east and western sides. This is the ruins of the eastern gate, from where he left the palace for his destined goal. Niglihawa is a significant archaeological site where the remains of an Ashokan pillar lie. The inscription on it mentions the enlargement of the stupa in the 14th year of the pilgrimage made by Emperor Ashoka in the 20th year of his coronation. Aurora Court is a citadel believed to be the birthplace of Kanakmuni Buddha. There is a large rectangular mound with remains of ancient moat and brick fortifications. Sagarhawa is the forest site where the ruins of ancient stupas and monasteries were excavated in 1895 AD. Devadaha is the ancient capital of the Koliya kingdom. It is the maternal hometown of Queen Mayadevi. Ramagrama is the site of a brick stupa standing 6 meters high. It is believed that this stupa built by the king of Ramagrama has the bodily relic of the Buddha. Tourists traveling to Lumbini from Kathmandu can take the flight to Bhairava and then a bus to the destination. Those traveling from India may enter at Belia and then take a bus onwards. The entire visit to Lumbini, starting from your departure from Kathmandu, can be achieved in 4 days. Within a 4 days tour, one can see the area, study the culture and the landscape. There are several options for accommodation in and around Lumbini for tourists and pilgrims. Budget hotels and lodges offer clean rooms at reasonable rates. There are also modern-class star hotels with restaurants offering a wide range of traditional Nepali and Western cuisine. These hotels also provide vehicle services, tour guides and cultural performances on request. Festivals are the life of the Nepalese. Every festival is celebrated with enthusiasm and devotion. Buddha was born on the full moon day of Baishak, May or June, and this day is observed as Buddha Purnima or Buddha Jayanti. The Buddha also attained enlightenment on the full moon day of Baishak. The day of his passing away was again the full moon day of Baishak. This day is celebrated the world over as the thrice blessed day, the day of his birth, enlightenment and death. Here we observe the 2548th birth anniversary of Lord Buddha. Lumbini is a pilgrimage attraction, a once-in-a-lifetime experience for more than 600 million Buddhists around the world. However, the true value of Lumbini lies in the reality that the Buddha was born here. This eternal lamp of peace, therefore, bears special significance for all lovers of peace.
Gacchami